Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Captain's Log, the show devoted to discussions and insights into pop culture with an emphasis on cinema in the occasional themed episodes. This is your captain speaking, Jose Valle, and it's time for us to begin our transmission. Stardate 07/22/2019. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Captain's Log. This is our first non-pre-recorded episode, because all the previous episodes that have been uploaded have been previously recorded like months ago. Like if you listen to it, the news is very not up to date. So this is the first episode that we're going to be recording the week it's going to go up. And today I'm also joined by a special guest and fellow movie nerd, Max Benyon. He's just been sitting here silently, listening to me talk as I did an introduction, so it was really fun. Anyway, Max, welcome to the show.
I couldn't.
You just don't speak, so people think I'm just talking to myself.
I was trying, yeah.
Yeah. But why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Wow, okay. So I'm Max Benyon. I am 19 years old. I'm almost 20 in December.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've worked really hard to get here. It's been a long journey. You know.
Yeah.
You're almost 20.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I like movies, as Jose said. I'm a movie nerd. I wouldn't say nerd. I would say
Enthusiast? Cinephile.
master.
Oh. Movie master Max Benyon.
Yeah, there's a lot of M's there. It's fun. And so you know, I spend a lot of time reading trivia on IMDb for no reason, instead of actually doing something with my life. So I'm glad that Jose's finally invited me to do something with my life and talk about IMDb trivia.
Right. Max, you're also a student at the U of U.
Yes, I am.
University of Utah.
But I don't live in Utah. No, I'm just kidding. I do. I don't want anyone to know where I live, remember? So yeah, University of Utah. I am a communications major. How much do you want to know about me?
I don't know. Just tell us kind of like what you do.
I have a big fear of dying.
Into. Oh.
No, I'm kidding. What I'm going into, yeah. So I don't know. I mean,
what are you studying right now?
Studying right now. I'm studying right now. I'm a communications major, and I have taken one class going towards that major.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. I'm doing really well.
College is
at
the
this
best.
rate, it'll be 12 years until I'm done, which is real nice. And no, it's way more than that. And so if I did one class a year, so yeah, it's been good, you know. But really, my dream would be to, you know, like actually act or write in things. I like to say I'm a writer, and I like to write, but then I sit down to write, and I get like 10 pages done, which is a lot, but then I just go, well, never going to finish this. Put it on the back burner and make some more useless playlist covers for my own playlists.
Nice. So Max and I, hopefully it'll happen within the next couple of weeks, but we're actually working on a project together, which is a lot of fun. So that'll be...
It's been really fun sitting around for a few weeks saying, we should do that.
We should do this, yeah. It was really fun the one night when we actually wrote it, and then the 3 weeks after where we've just been like, we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll come out. Maybe you guys will see that. You probably will. We'll do it.
Yeah,
we'll definitely.
It'll happen. Whether or not we're 50.
Do you want to talk about how we met? So I've known Max for what?
Yeah.
3 years.
4 years
now.
almost.
Yeah.
4 years this fall.
Yeah.
So we met at a bar. No. So we were in high school together, and I mean, we were in a math class, and the most vivid memory I have of that is, I think we switched the letters of Superman to be Moopersan,
right?
And for no reason, we thought that was super
so
funny.
Hard.
Like
I almost lost it that day.
Yeah, that was.
I was checked into a clinically insane ward,
right?
Because of
and then they were like, "What's the cause of this?"
And then I said,
"Moopersan." And then like 10 more people lost their minds. Jose, you're a wanted
crazy.
man.
I am
for Moopersan.
But no, yeah, we met through math class, and
also gym, which is
super
weird.
Because I don't know, we weren't like the most. I wouldn't say we weren't the most athletic, but we just didn't care compared to everyone else.
the guy who played soccer for 3 years.
Yeah, but I mean, I only did it because I was like it doesn't matter. It's a really sad story. I think I was only put on the teams because I did student council, and they were like, this will be good for PR. I'm pretty sure that's it.
You know, the political landscape of high school soccer.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but I think we were like the two guys that just didn't take it. Because there was like always those guys. I felt like the majority of our class was like I'm gonna show you how good I am at sports,
or they were like us. They didn't want to do anything ever.
And I think we
were a good middle ground,
right?
Though.
And like I remember, like we would be playing basketball or whatever, and we'd just be to the corner. Or I remember one time we were doing a lap around the gym.
Yeah, and we were just talking about like the Flash. Yeah.
And so that's when Max and I.
That's how we became friends.
First met, and then I proposed.
We've been in love ever since.
I was gonna say, I think Max and I always joke about him being or me being the brown version of him and him being the white version of me. Because when you're talking about like movie trivia, that's exactly what I do.
Yeah, you just read nothing all the time.
My mom will come in and be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "IMDb trivia."
Do you ever just have like your parent come in and say, "What are you watching?" And you're watching a video that's like, "Hey, you know the story that you've already heard 10 times from 10 other channels?" But it's like, "Yeah, Jack Nicholson was the Joker." And they're like, "What are you watching?" And you're like,
"No,
nothing." And then you just kind of have this existential crisis of like, "What am I doing with my life?"
I think I do that a lot. I'm thinking of like recently stuff like that I've seen. But pretty much.
Top 10 sandwiches
ranked by Watch Mojo. One time I watched the EA Sports Voice over 10 years. Didn't change that much.
But you watched it.
I watched the whole 10 minutes of it, and then I was done, and I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
And I felt pretty good about myself.
It's really funny because it's not that impressive to know these things. But oftentimes, I'll just have a chance talking to my family to just be like, well, this character is this person, but then 10 years later this happens, and I just basically describe the entire history of the Crisis on Infinite Earths comic storyline. And then my sister's like, how do you just remember that? That's really impressive. And I go, it's really not. It's not.
It's always fun when people try to validate you, and they're like, I'll be like, oh, well, there was a whole clone saga where... Like, I'll go watch Spider-Verse or something, and then my friends will be like, who's that? And I'm like, well, that's Miles Morales.
And here's their entire
and
history.
I give them the entire thing, and they're like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. And I'm like, no.
It's not.
I talked about that for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I should have just let you enjoy the movie.
Exactly.
But I'm not going to stop.
So basically what we're saying is we're the worst. And thank you for listening.
Okay, so I'm going to explain to you the layout of the show. So basically, it's a show. And that's it. No, so it's so like the show's devoted to like discussions and insights into like pop culture, cinema. I do like a themed episode every once in a while. But so the layout of the show basically is I do like a news segment, and then I do a recommendations, and then I just get into like the main topic. So it's pretty straightforward. With that being said, we're gonna jump to the news. The last time I had a guest, we didn't do the news segment, but I wish I did because I kind of want to hear like people's reaction to it. So I'm gonna read the news, and feel free to just come in at any point and give your 2 cents on it. All right, so the segment is called "Did You See the News?" Because I'll be like, "Hey, did you see the news?" And then that's why.
What if I didn't see it? What if I heard it?
All right, did you see the news that the Toronto Film Festival will feature supervillain origin stories, splashy literary adaptations, and Tom Hanks as the friendliest neighbor around? The Canadian celebration has announced their lineup for 2019, and it looks to be a mix of glossy awards bait, indie films, and crowd pleasers. So, it looks like the Joker movie will premiere there, as well as Abominable, which we were talking about earlier today, which is an animated movie about the Yeti.
Yes.
Is it DreamWorks you said that's doing
it's DreamWorks,
and then Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, which will feature Tom Hanks as Fred Rogers. Toronto is often regarded as the launching point for award season hopefuls. And it looks like there are plenty of players this year going for the Oscars with such films as Ford versus Ferrari. The Goldfinch, which is
is that the one with the kid and his mom died?
His mom dies in like an explosion or something.
I don't know. The trailer was very artsy and very cool.
I want to watch it though because it's got Ansel Elgort in it.
Your husband.
My husband. The friend in the black suit. I'm like, what's his deal? Why is he wearing a black suit? He looks really cool. So that's
the embodiment of death.
Oh, I don't know. Is it?
No, I don't know.
I have no idea what this is about, but I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah,
anyway, okay. Just Mercy, which is a court drama with Michael B. Jordan, and The Two Popes, a look at the relationship between Pope Benedict and Pope Francis, with Anthony Hopkins as Pope Benedict and Jonathan Pryce as Pope Francis. Jonathan Pryce, he was Elizabeth Swann's dad in Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, yeah, he's in Brazil, which is a movie that you should see and everyone should see, and it's really good.
He's also in... What else is he in? I don't know. He's in another movie where I was like, why are you
you know
this?
what he's in? Brazil. Which is a movie you should see.
Okay.
And everyone should see. It's
Game
a
of
good
Thrones.
film.
He's in Game of Thrones.
You know what else he's in?
What is it?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh.
But he's also in Brazil, which is a film you should see.
So anyway, it's a mixed bag this year.
Yeah,
So,
that's interesting.
Yeah. Did you see the news that the Amazon Lord of the Rings series has tapped its first cast member?
I saw it, but I didn't recognize the person. I didn't bother to click on the article.
Yeah, so according to Variety, multiple sources are reporting that Markula Kavanagh, I don't know how to say her last name. She's Australian.
Markula Kavanagh?
Maybe. Is in talks for a role in the upcoming Tolkien fantasy series. Details for her character are being kept under wraps.
Gender-bent Gandalf.
No, it's known that she'll be playing someone named Tyra. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't...
Do we know yet if this show is adapting the books or the Silmarillion? Or
So I'm going to tell you a little bit about her first.
Okay.
So she's known for her previous work in the sequel to the Australian film Romper Stomper. Classic.
What's the sequel called?
I don't know.
More rompers, more stompers?
I hope.
Romping, stomping.
Romping, stomping again?
Stomper rompers.
There you
flip
go.
It around.
As well as her roles in shows Picnic at Hanging Rock and The Cry. So the Lord of the Rings series is being developed by the writing team of J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay. Little is known about the series other than the fact that it will explore new storylines preceding Tolkien's Fellowship of the Ring.
Okay.
So I think they're basing it on the mythology, but they haven't said if it's based on like anything particularly. Although the show's official Twitter account posted a picture of a map with two messages that read, "One ring to rule them all, one ring to find them, one ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them, in the land of Mordor where the shadows lie," as well as "Welcome to the Second Age." In Tolkien mythology, the Second Age was a time when the Rings of Power, including Sauron's, came into existence. So maybe it'll be like
the forming of the rings.
Right. Maybe it'll deal with like Sauron's like control of like the different species.
Deal with the rings being given to man and elf kind. And, right? That
yeah,
happened, right?
Yeah, that's
okay,
what
good.
it is. Yeah.
I also watched the trailer for The Witcher, and I was like, "Whoa!"
What? Right.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
Yeah. Did you see the news that according to Quentin Tarantino, Kill Bill Volume 3 is not dead? According to the director, he's been in talks with Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 star Uma Thurman. The director announced this on a recent interview on MTV's Happy, Sad, Confused podcast. He confirmed that he's still talking with Thurman about continuing their adored martial arts film series. Tarantino has long talked about wanting to continue the series with a trilogy-ending third installment that focuses on the now adult daughter of Vernita Green, also known as Vivica A. Fox, pursuing vengeance against Thurman's Beatrix for killing her mother. So at the beginning of the first one, have you seen Kill Bill?
My dad showed me like the ending of it when I was 7.
Nice.
Which is a weird.
Yeah.
My dad showed me a lot of things I shouldn't have seen, but I saw the ending. I saw some guy being murdered with a sword, and he was sitting in a chair, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of the movie. So at the beginning of the first film, she like hunts down her previous mates, who she went around killing people with, and one of them is Vivica A. Fox, and she kills her, and her daughter's in the house, and after she kills her mother, she like turns to her and she says, "If you still feel bad about it, come find me when you're grown up," or something. So that's kind of where he wants to take it like full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is he still doing that? I'm only gonna make 10 movies.
Right. Yes. So that's like the biggest issue facing it, because he said that he wants to retire from filmmaking after his 10th film, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is his 9th of his original films. He's technically directed more, but he only counts that one as
he's like made a bunch of like loopholes.
Right.
Like, doesn't he count the first 2 Kill Bills as just one movie, or something like that?
I don't know. No, I think those count as.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I don't know.
I don't know. He's an interesting guy.
He said, I think when it comes to theatrical movies, I've come to the end of the road. I see myself writing film books and starting to write theater, so I'll still be creative. I just think I've given all I have to movies. Tarantino also has an R-rated Star Trek film in development, which left fans wondering if he meant one more original film or any directorial film involvement. To which he responded with 10 films is 10 films, so Star Trek would count towards a total.
Wow.
So it looks like he'll have to decide between Kill Bill Volume 3 or Star Trek.
Imagine his last movie ever was a Star Trek film.
Here's what I think is going to happen. I think he says that, but I think he's going to do Star Trek, and then he's going to be like, okay, I came out of retirement to do Kill Bill 3. And then he's going to do that, and then, I don't know, a couple years are going to pass.
I'm interested in theater from him, though. That's interesting, because his writing, obviously, he's regarded as one of the best screenwriters of all
I really
time.
like his movies.
But it would be interesting to see how his writing takes on a different shape, because he can't exactly do the stylized directing and, blood and murder that he does in movies and theater.
Yeah.
I mean, you could, if you really wanted to push the limits, which a lot of people are doing, but, it's...
Yeah. And finally, did you see the news that a Batman veteran will appear in this year's Arrowverse crossover event? The news came from Batwoman showrunner Caroline Dries, who revealed the show is currently working on Crisis at the moment. Dries couldn't say much, but she did reveal that an actor from Adam West's Batman era is coming along for the ride, saying, "Yes, we are currently working on the crossover. I've been sworn to secrecy, but I can say we do have a ton of characters coming into the 5-part epic event. You're going to lose your mind. One fun character that I can announce is Burt Ward, who played Robin in the Batman TV series, and he'll be making an appearance." Holy cameo, Batman.
Did you write that?
I did write that. I wrote that in. It's not clear if Ward, who's now 74 years old and hasn't played Robin in live action in a long time.
Right, because they did those 2 animated films.
Right, so will reprise his role as a Boy Wonder. But anyway, so that's the end of the news.
Okay.
I mean,
this whole episode's kind of news, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
But that's interesting. I didn't know that he was coming back for that.
I think that'll be fun.
It's fun. There's a lot of...
They're doing a lot of fun stuff with Crisis. Brandon Routh is going to be...
Superman
back again.
As Superman.
I feel like... Oh, and then the last one, they brought... I forget his name. He plays Barry's dad in the show, but he used to be the Flash in, the 90s. He reprised that role of the Flash in the lead up to Crisis. So in the last one that they did, which was I don't even know what they called it. But the last Elseworlds, that's what it was. The last one that they did, he reprised his 90s, and he was in the suit and everything.
Oh, he was in the 90s suit.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Oh, that's fun. I was gonna say, it's been he's been back for a while.
He also did Jay Garrick. He's Jay Garrick.
Yeah.
But then he also was Barry Allen.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
There's a lot of DC TV properties they can pull from, and they're also pulling from movie. I heard a theory that Brandon Routh's Superman is coming in because Tom Welling refused to be Superman or something like that. Do you believe that? Do you see that happening?
Tom Welling.
He was Superman in Smallville.
Oh.
Because he, it's surprising they haven't looped him in yet. So people were wondering if maybe they wrote that part for him, and then he said no, and they're like, we've already got Brandon sitting around in a Atom suit.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested to see who else we get.
What if they say that and then he shows up?
Well, that would be cool, but he can't be wearing a Superman costume.
Why?
No, I'm just kidding. Because at the end of Smallville, he never wore the suit.
All right, so if this is your first time listening to the show, we have a segment here called Check This Out. A segment in which I bless all of your lives with the best recommendations for movies, TV shows, reading material, podcasts, music, and anything and everything creative and beautiful. Today, I have a couple of mixed recommendations, so let's jump into them. All right, since this week we were talking about Comic-Con and all the Comic-Con news, I thought I would throw some superhero recommendations, some comic book properties on here. These two are the two most recent ones I've seen, and they just stuck in my mind. The first one being Iron Man 3. So I actually went back and watched Iron Man 3 the other night. It had been a while since I watched it, but I gotta say I actually quite enjoyed it. There's a lot of, there's some things from that movie that I don't enjoy as a comic book fan. For instance, I'm not a big fan of the whole, Guy Pearce was the Mandarin, and the guy that was supposed to be the Mandarin, he was just a fake out. Now it's this white guy who can light on fire. He's the Mandarin. Oh, here we go. I wasn't a big fan of that, but I was a big fan of this whole aspect of a superhero story that's actually post-superhero in a post-superhero universe. You know what I mean? I was a big fan of this superhero movie that's sort of dealing with the effects of a previous film. What I liked about it was that they took Tony Stark and they were like, how he lived and participated in these events? Well, they actually messed him up a lot, and he's still haunted by the things that he saw, the things that he did, and the whole idea that he was this man who thought himself the smartest among men. He thought that his invention of the Iron Man armor was going to make him this, this unstoppable force. He thought that he had everything figured out, and all of a sudden a giant hole opened over New York and aliens came pouring in, and it became evident to him that people wanted to cause harm to Earth. And he was one of the people that was now thrown in to defend it. And so to see him like suffer with anxiety and this sort of post-traumatic stress disorder was really interesting, not to mention the whole aspect of taking him away from his familiar element. They take him away from Malibu, away from LA, away from New York, and they throw him in Midwestern United States, and he's got a barely functioning suit, and he's got to make do with what he can, and he's got this sort of kid sidekick who's somehow the voice of reason, but through the kid, he encourages Tony, like, you're a mechanic, you build stuff, now let's see you build it. And I really like the ending sequence where he goes to the sort of Mandarin hideout where Trevor Slattery is at, and he shows up with all these homemade gadgets and bombs and gizmos and stuff. So I definitely recommend watching Iron Man 3 again. It's not my favorite of the MCU films, but I think it's actually a really good movie that sometimes gets overlooked because of the more stylized and more, because of the more recent films that have come out. And the second superhero property on my list that I want to recommend for you guys to go watch, I just watched it the other night with my family, it's Shazam. I'm a huge fan of Captain Marvel, the DC character Shazam. And so I remember when they announced this movie, I was super excited because I love the character. And then I never got to go see it in theaters, which I was really bummed out about. I just recently caught it on digital the other night, and I loved it. I really liked the whole story of it. I like sort of this kid and family angle that they took, the theme of maybe you're not worthy, but you can become worthy. I like the sort of parallels between Billy Batson and the film's antagonist, Dr. Savannah, who they were both kids that were brought before the wizard to see if they were worthy of becoming the champion to defend, the earth from the 7 deadly sins. But Savannah wasn't worthy because he was tempted. Whereas Billy Batson was brought in after the sins escaped. So would he have been tempted as well? Well, you don't know throughout the entire film, but through the end of it, and spoilers here, through the end of it, you sort of realize that, yeah, he was worthy, and Billy learns and earns his keep. And the other kid in it is hilarious. He's the kid from It. He played Eddie. He's hilarious. He easily steals a show. And Zachary Levi is phenomenal as Captain Marvel. I actually really liked it because he's a man, but he's playing a boy trapped in his body, and I thought he did a really good job of that. Like I could see that he was this kid. He wasn't just a goofy adult. He was clearly someone who had been placed in a situation that he shouldn't have been placed in. And I really like the whole aspect of family doesn't necessarily mean blood, because the whole movie, Billy thinks these, every foster home that I've been in, every family that's tried to adopt me, they're not my real family. My real family is my mother. She's blood. She wants me back. Well, little does he know that that's not the case. And I think I really liked that he sort of, I really liked the sort of, without giving too much away, I liked the lesson that comes with the family aspect. I like the look of it. It was a breath of fresh air. Same thing with Aquaman compared to the previous DC films that we'd gone, which were these, gray smoke and fire movies. This felt like a refreshing change of pace because it was these colorful, tight-wearing superhero, and they were fighting in Philly. They weren't fighting in some field or some abandoned warehouse. They were fighting in a carnival, And so yeah, it's pretty good. Check out Shazam. Next thing on my list is it's a music video for a song called Someone You Loved. It's by Lewis Capaldi. It's a beautiful, beautiful music video. I absolutely love the song. It's really sad. It's hauntingly beautiful. Lewis Capaldi's a very talented artist. But I really like this music video because, one, it features one of my favorite actors, Peter Capaldi, the 12th Doctor from Doctor Who. But he plays the role of this man. It's sort of the story of this man who, you sort of see him at the beginning. He's just kind of meandering, wandering through life. He seems lost, and he's always got these headphones in, and you're like, what is he listening to? Is he listening to this song? Is that what's being implied? And then you see him go through his day. There's one scene that I really love, which is him laying on his bed, and he's laying with his, facing up, and he's got his hand on his chest. And then we see him walking, and this woman jogs past him. We now follow the woman. We see her go home with her daughter and her husband. And then we come back to the man, and he's with, at another point we see him with his wife, who is in a hospital bed. And then later it's the man comes to the home of the jogger, and he comes in and he sits at dinner with them, and you're sort of thinking, like, what's going on here? Then they go into the living room, and the jogger, she unbuttons her blouse and she shows him a scar. And it's at this moment that you realize what was happening. He puts his hand on the scar and he feels it, and you see sort of a moment of sadness but also happiness on his face, because now you realize that it's his wife's heart. The little girl hands him a paper that says, thank you for saving my mommy, or something like that. And we see him again going through his day, listening to his earbuds, but now you realize he wasn't listening to music. He was listening to the heartbeat of his wife. And it's just such a beautifully shot film. It's a great concept. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. Definitely check that out. Next, I'm recommending a podcast. This is, I think this is the first podcast I've recommended, but it is the podcast Astonishing Legends. Now, I've been a long-time Astonishing Legends listener. I'm a huge fan of these guys. So basically, it's a podcast devoted to exploring sort of the cryptid world, the world of myths and legends, thus the name Astonishing Legends. And it's these two guys, Scott and Forrest, and they explore different topics every week. The specific one that I would recommend starting with is a series they did on the Sallie House, which is a famed haunted house in, I believe it's Kansas, it's in Atchison, Kansas. And it's this home that's been reported haunted for many, many years. It's supposedly haunted by this demon that calls itself Sally. A lot of stuff has gone down. Multiple shows have gone there and done their investigations. But what I really liked about this series, and what I really like about them as a whole, is that they do a really good job giving you the backstory to it, the historical backstory, as well as the paranormal backstory. The first episode they touch on backstory. The first couple episodes they interview the family that lived there, which was a family in the 90s that were the first to really experience sort of supernatural happenings. And then in the following series, they themselves go visit the house. They do some EVP sessions, and it has one of the scariest, most chilling things I've heard that's related to the supernatural. It's an EVP that they recorded of what sounds like demonic screaming. It's insane. I remember listening to it on a drive back from a trip. I was listening to it in my car with two other people in the car, but as I heard it, I was chilled to the bone, and it felt like I was alone. And for that moment, I was just so scared. And everyone that listens to it has a different reaction, everyone that listens to that EVP, but it's a really good series. I definitely recommend you check it out. Definitely recommend you check out all their episodes. They're a really talented group. I love the two guys. They're amazing. Next up, for any Lumineers fans, you probably know this by now, but the Lumineers have published their complete playlist on Spotify, which is an entire playlist made up of all their songs. They just recently added the new ones that they're releasing with this new album. It's a great thing. If you're a Lumineers fan, if you're an indie fan, sort of this alternative rock kind of thing, folk music, Americana, definitely go check it out. It's really great. They're a lovely band. I would love to see them live one day. But all of their songs are there, and if you're a Lumineer fan, this is like the perfect thing. I remember the day it dropped, I downloaded it, and I was like, yes, this is what I needed. Speaking of songs, the next recommendation we have is a song called Dancing in the Moonlight by Top Loader. It was originally by King Harvest. Amazing, quirky song that I love. It's very sort of, Guardians of the Galaxy-esque, where it's just like sort of poppy 70s, 80s kind of rock. It's really great. I love it. It was in a show. I first saw it in a show called The Umbrella Academy, which is also my last recommendation.
But it's really good. It's really fun. I love that song. Every time I hear it, I just want to dance. It's really great. I want to shoot something. I want to film something, some sort of project where I get to use this song. I have this sort of idea of this, I don't know, like almost like a, not necessarily just like a montage, but like a sort of tracking scene where it's we use this song in an unconventional way where it wouldn't be used normally. I don't know. And yeah, the last thing on my list today to be recommended is a show called The Umbrella Academy. So this kind of goes along with the whole Comic-Con superhero vibe. The Umbrella Academy is a story about these group of adopted siblings. So basically in October 1989, I think it's 40-something women had children, gave birth. But the strange part was at the beginning of the day, they weren't pregnant. And so it's like, where did these babies come from? This billionaire, he's this sort of weird, eccentric billionaire. He goes around the world and he tries to get as many of these kids as he can. He ends up adopting 7, and he forms a sort of X-Men squad with them. Sort of, he calls it the Umbrella Academy, and he trains them to be these superheroes that are one day going to be out in the daylight protecting people. And it's really great. But the show takes place after all this superhero shenanigans from a young age. The siblings are reunited by the death of their father. A bit of a minor spoiler, but it's within like the first bit of the show. They're reunited because of the death of their father, and you kind of see how much their relationship has changed. Like a lot of things went down, and it's explored what happened to them. It's explored their roots, like the tragedies and stuff that befell them. Sort of the mystery surrounding their birth and surrounding their future and their destiny. It's a really great show, though. It's very different from the sort of CW, even Marvel sort of superhero series. It's a lot darker. It's a lot more bloody, a lot more violent, a lot more profane, but it's so well written and it's so well done. There's a great scene in it where they all dance to Tiffany's I Think We're Alone Now. And it's like, it has one of the most beautiful shots I've ever seen in a TV show, where they sort of pull back and it's like they cut the house halfway through, and you get to see them all in their different rooms dancing to the song. And it's like a little bit of a change and a break from the sort of dark and gloominess of their lives. And it's brilliant. I love the show. Really great cast. It kept me on the edge of my seat. I definitely recommend watching it. And that is all the recommendations I have. But they should be more than enough to hold you until next week. Now, let's get into today's topic, Comic-Con.
Anyway, so we're going to get into the topics. So basically, we don't have to rank these, but I was like, it'll be fun if we... Because we don't have a lot. But I was like, it'll be fun if we do rank them.
Okay.
Although So the ranking is, it's on.
Okay.
Or it's a yawn. That'll be the ranking. So it's on is like, yeah, I'm excited for this.
Okay.
It's a yawn is like,
okay,
this is a yawn because it's boring. I don't want to see this. Okay, here we go. So the first one is the Picard TV series.
Yes.
So it's going to be a continuation of
Next Generation.
Yep. It's an older Captain Picard.
Yep.
He retired and he was being a farmer doing some wine stuff. I don't know. What did he do? I don't know.
Yeah, so
Vineyard or something?
I've never seen
Next Generation.
So we are definitely the most qualified people to talk about this.
But I know a lot of people like it.
Yeah, it's regarded. It's highly regarded.
Mm-hmm.
I think at the end, in the last episode, there's like a flash forward to the future, or he goes to the future or something like that, and he sees that he's living on this vineyard in space. And but this looks. What do you think of this? I've said nothing. I've been talking for 2 minutes and I've said nothing.
I don't know. Like, I've never seen Next Generation, but I watched this and I was like, whoa, I might watch this. This looks interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea who these characters are.
You don't know who Data is?
I know who Data is. But anyway, it looks good. Like, I want to see it. I'm intrigued because I think there's like a sort of revival going on right now for these Star Trek series where they're not... Because it was like the Abrams stuff came out and they were like, okay, we're just going to do completely new universe stuff. And then they did Discovery, which is set in the original.
It's set 10 years before. Yeah, it's in the... So there's the prime timeline and then there's the... Whatever J.J. Abrams' grandfather, the Kelvin timeline or whatever it's called. So, yeah.
And Discovery set in the prime timeline.
It's set 10 years before.
Yeah, so I feel like they did
series. Discovery,
and it did it's doing pretty well.
Yeah, it's got mixed reviews, but from what I hear about it, I'm like, that's super cool and interesting.
And so they're doing this again, so I think that's fun. And then they've talked about doing like 10 short episodes where like they're telling these different stories. One of them is going to be about Captain Pike.
Oh, that's exciting.
Who was like the
Yeah,
original
he was,
captain
he was in the pilot.
episode.
Yeah. I watched the original. Have you ever watched the original Star Trek series?
Not all the way through.
Oh.
But I've watched a couple episodes.
I
wanted to.
You know what's interesting about this Picard trailer that I thought was kind of cool? Again, speaking as someone who's never seen a full Star Trek series all the way through, 7 of 9 from Voyager's in the Picard series. So that's a different series than Next Generation.
See, this is cool.
It's kind of cool that you can have these different... I might be wrong.
Anyway, I don't know. Yawn or it's on? I think it's on. I think it's definitely on.
You know, I mean, every time I see a trailer for anything Star Trek, I go, I want to watch that.
Yeah.
I never do.
I never do either. I swore I was going to watch Discovery. I was like, yeah, I'm going to watch this.
Yeah, but you need that CBS All Access.
That's the thing. Like, I watched... Yeah, I'm really bummed about that because I wanted to watch The Twilight Zone. And then it was like, you got to get this, pal. And I was like, well, I don't want to.
It's on. Picard, it's on.
Yeah.
All right,
okay.
What else?
Next up is Terminator Dark Fate. So they released a behind-the-scenes featurette.
With at least 3 F words.
So I want to talk about that.
It's not PG-13 featurette.
No, this isn't your little cousin's Terminator. This is your grandpa's Terminator.
What was your little cousin's Terminator?
Because young.
Genesis?
PG-13.
Genesis?
Sure, yeah.
Was your little cousin's Terminator.
Yeah. Also, they announced Edward
Furlong's back.
He's back as John Connor.
Interesting.
He does not look good.
Has he done any acting since Judgment Day?
He's gotten arrested a lot.
Really?
Well, yeah, he looks like
because he's hanging out with a Terminator, Jose.
Have you seen him? What he looks like now?
No. What does he look like now?
He does not look good.
Show me.
Let me show you. Anyway, yeah, he doesn't look good. Here, watch. Let me pull this up.
All right. I mean, that's... I think that's subjective, Jose. I think you need to be a nicer person.
They haven't said to what capacity he'll be back. Whether it'll be like present day or it could be young. But this is what he looks like now. He doesn't look great.
The savior of humanity.
Right? Like, can you see this guy as...
That's really rude, Jose.
I know, it really is.
He saved us from annihilation.
Well, he hasn't saved himself from obesity, has he?
That's really rude.
That's really mean.
You're really mean.
Yeah, he hasn't saved himself from going to the Wendy's drive-thru.
In 20 or 30 years, I'm going to show everyone a picture of you and go, it won't be. You won't be alive in 30 years?
Nope. Anyway, so yeah, Edward Furlong, he's back. We're all excited about it.
No, wait, you didn't ask me if I was excited about it.
So, the behind-the-scenes featurette...
Just going to move on.
I watched it, and I was like, okay, I'll probably go see this.
Yeah.
But then I was like, man, they really want to get across that this is an R-rated film, don't they?
They do. They really do.
Because the swearing... Look, I swear all the time. But the swearing just felt...
Yeah, you haven't stopped swearing this whole podcast.
I know. Hey, thank you. I say as I censor myself. But the whole time I was like, none of this swearing feels natural. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like, I felt like they were like, oh, you should say the F word. Yeah. Say, oh, I'm fucking excited that I'm doing Terminator. You know what I mean? And then when Linda Hamilton is on, and she's like...
Mother Effers.
Yeah. I was like, that doesn't say... Well, and then she's like, you're watching this, and there's a ton of cool shit or whatever. I was like, it didn't feel right. I felt like afterwards they were like, hey, you should say there's, like, cool shit. And, like, say shit as much as you can. And she was like, okay. Because we really want people to know this is R-rated. And then I read that while they were doing the panel, they also swore like a ton. So I'm like, what are you guys doing with this? Like, you know what I mean?
Hello, fellow kids.
Yeah. Like, they were like, oh, Arnold's going to... Yeah, that's what I feel like is going on. They were like, oh, Arnold's going to drop the F-bomb a lot.
Okay.
I was like, cool.
Okay. But will it be a good movie?
That's the thing. Nothing from this featurette made me go like, okay, well, some from the
Some
featurette.
of it. I think it looks really fun a little bit.
But nothing from when the cast was on, like when they showed like the director and some of the cast, none of them I was like, yeah, cool. Like when what's his name? Tim Miller? Tim McGraw, the director of this film. Tim Miller? Tim Miller, yeah. When Tim Miller was like, I liked his little bit at the beginning where he's like, you stop and then suddenly you're like, oh my god, I'm doing a Terminator movie. I was like, cool. And then he comes back later and he's like, yeah, it's really fucking cool. I was like, okay.
He's excited. Let him be excited.
I just felt like it was like shoehorned in. Like they were like,
no, I can definitely see that. Yeah. Like I feel like it was very much like this. We're back to we're back to what Terminator is, which is just swearing. And that's it. It's like, no. Those movies weren't cherished for this. I feel like
they don't know what made... I feel like they haven't known what's made T1 and T2 good since those films, you know?
But it's kind of fun because it's like you're watching them try to figure out how to make a good movie.
Even like Genesis, where supposedly James Cameron was involved. I don't know if he really was.
No,
I feel like he probably was just like, yeah, slap my name on it. It's fine.
Yeah.
But even that one, I was like, do they not know what made... Because they were like, we know what made Terminator good.
We figured it out,
and
everybody.
you're going to love it.
It's
and
Emilia Clarke.
It's John Connor, but he's the Terminator.
It's when Arnold says, I'll be back. That's what you guys want.
And then everybody was like, no.
And with Salvation, they were like, so you want Christian Bale to yell at people and have this be a desert? You want it to
Is that what you want?
You want it to be a desert?
So you wanted more John Connor. Okay,
got it. Here you go.
Because here it is.
And we
it's
all
John
went,
Connor.
No.
And we were like, no. And they were like, oh.
Swearing. That's what it is. That's
what
it is.
I mean, Gabriel Luna, is that his name? Yeah, he looks
so.
pretty good in this. He's the new Terminator. I like him. I liked him in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I felt like he was one of the only good things about that season was his Ghost Rider. I don't know. I'll watch this, but... so, is it on or is it a yawn?
I don't know. It's...
I'd say it's in the middle.
I think it's fine. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to see it probably. I don't
know. If somebody says, do you want to go see Terminator Dark Fate? I'll be like, yeah, sure. But if no one says anything to me...
Which I doubt anyone will.
You know what?
Although I do like the new trend of bringing back women who are now like older women to play their roles again and just be total bad A's, you know?
Yeah. You can swear here if you want to.
No, I'm physically incapable of it.
Okay, next up. So we're going to say it's fine. It's in the middle, right? It's not a yawn. It's not necessarily
It's Terminator Dark Fate.
It's Terminator Dark Fate. Next, the CW dropped a bunch of sizzles for their shows. You know, some
I've never heard someone say sizzles like that. Just as like a plural of a sizzle reel.
They dropped like a bunch of little trailers with previous footage, but it's like them with some new footage.
The Arrow one was very impactful, I found, because I remember watching those first 3 seasons and going, wow, this is ending.
I know. I liked the last season of Arrow. I thought it was good.
Was that the 7th? They're going on their 8th now?
Yeah, they're going 8th, and then they're ending again.
And then they're done.
Anyway, they were pretty good. So, the new ones, they released one, was it Supergirl, Arrow, and Flash?
So, as someone who dropped off this, you've caught up. So, I dropped off the Flash season 3. Never watched Supergirl all the way through. And I dropped off Arrow after season 3. So, my question to you is this. What's going on with the Flash, and why is there a man with goopy eyes?
Oh, I don't know.
Does that play in
I
the
don't know
Crisis?
who that is, but I think it's going to.
Okay,
I have no idea.
Or is it... Because that was the weirdest thing.
I think his name's Bloodwork or something. I think he's like
that one came across as the oddest one to me. The Supergirl one was fine, but the Flash one came across as really odd because first of all, his monologue went on for a very long time. I kept thinking it was about to end, and then it didn't. But
right,
I just... So... Yeah. Who do we know who that is?
Yeah, his
comics?
name is Bloodwork.
Okay.
He was introduced in 2017. His name is Dr. Ramsey Rosso.
Oh, so this is like a brand new villain from the comics.
He's a hemophiliac coroner using blood that should be evidence to research how to cure his hemophilia.
So what is hemophilia? Is that a fear of... No, I'm thinking of phobia.
Yeah, you are.
Hemophilia, is he allergic to blood?
No, it's like hemophilia.
I don't know. I guess that's a dumb question.
Let's find out.
Allergic to blood.
Hemophilia.
You would just die.
So hemophilia is a rare disorder in which your blood doesn't clot normally because it lacks sufficient blood clotting proteins.
Interesting. So he's stealing dead people's blood.
Yeah, and so he, after running some experiments on metahuman blood, he eventually gains the power to control blood itself, stop it from flowing in other people, congeal it, make it burn, shape it around himself, and so on. He's like basically a blood bender, is what he is. So I don't know. He's a weird villain, but I like that they're like.
So what was his whole thing at the end of saying no one's ever gonna have to die again? What's his?
Maybe he's.
I like that I'm asking you as if you wrote the season.
Yeah.
I was like, who is
Greg Berlanti. That's the showrunner.
I know who he is.
I read
the IMDb trivia.
Maybe he's trying to. I don't know. But I'm really excited for the Arrow one. I'm kind of excited for Flash.
Who's the villain in Arrow again? Do we know?
No, I don't think we do. Although they did show Tommy, which is his friend.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting his friend back forever.
For 7 seasons.
For 7 seasons, because I really liked the guy who plays him, and he's shown up.
Yeah, he showed up for the 100th, right?
Yeah. So he showed up in Crisis on Earth X or whatever, he showed up as evil Arrow. He was this guy named Prometheus. He was like evil Arrow.
Right.
And he showed up from another universe, and because there was a Prometheus in Arrow's normal universe, but he was a different guy.
Right.
And everybody thought, oh, it's gonna be Tommy. He was alive because his dad. Okay, so Tommy's dad, Malcolm Merlin, was the Dark Archer. He eventually kind of became Ra's al Ghul for a little bit.
Okay.
And so a lot of people were like, when Prometheus showed up, they were like, oh, it's Tommy. Malcolm took him to the Lazarus pit, brought him back.
But it wasn't Tommy.
But it wasn't Tommy. It was some other crazy guy who Arrow had killed his dad, and now he was back for revenge.
Okay.
He's a pretty good villain, though. Season 5 was really good. But anyway...
That was season 5?
Yeah, season 5.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That was like 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
Who was the villain of season 7?
Season 7, it was Ricardo Diaz again.
Who's that?
He was this guy called the Dragon. He was like a...
Let's start a podcast where it's just you explaining Arrow to me.
Yeah. Well,
so
Arrow,
did season 5 end with
kind
that island blowing up?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so,
okay, that was longer ago than I thought it was.
Tommy's shown up in like flashbacks and in like Arrow's memories. There was one scene in season 7 where like Arrow, we thought Arrow was dead or whatever. He got trapped under a building, and Tommy showed up to him, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, he's alive. But no, it was just Arrow's subconscious. But on the Crisis on Earth X, he showed up as evil Prometheus, and then he committed suicide via cyanide pill.
Cool.
But it looks like he could either be back as a vision again or for real.
Yep.
I would like it if it was for real. I would really like it if he was like, hey, I'm back and now I'm evil, man. Because I'm crazy. You know, like a Red Hood kind of thing. You know
so
what I mean?
you'd want him to come back 7 years just not being
I
think
that would be really
years.
Cool.
Okay.
Because it would be like, what was he doing? I mean, Oliver Queen was gone for 5 years. They could be like,
That's true. But didn't Tommy get crushed by a building? Am I remembering season 1 right?
Yeah, well, he didn't get crushed by a building. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Just like his lower half.
He got crushed by a building.
You throw him in the Lazarus pit, he's fine.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, I think so.
Anyone who's broken?
Pretty much.
Even 3 or 4 years later.
No, I'm saying like maybe Malcolm rescued him right
Immediately?
away. Yeah, I think so.
Well,
it's his son.
So when did Malcolm get involved with Ra's al Ghul?
He had been...
for a long time.
For a long time.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. I thought you meant like 3 years later Malcolm was like Ra's al Ghul, and he was like...
So he became evil because someone killed his wife, right? Malcolm's wife.
Yeah.
And then he like went on this like Batman kind of, I'm gonna go find myself or whatever, and he eventually stumbled across the League. Okay. And the League was like, we're gonna take you in, we're gonna train you, and they called him the Magician because Merlin.
Right. Oh wow. Yeah. Very creative.
Al-Saim, I think, is what they called him, which means the Magician.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm excited for... I don't know. We went on this longer. I'm excited for Crisis on Infinite Earths. I'm excited for that.
I'm excited for it too.
Because I think it'll be fun and cool. I'll watch the crossover episodes, and I'll watch all the seasons just because I'm like, I don't like to just watch them and be like, I don't know what's leading up to this. Supergirl's alright. I think that's the only show that I would be like, you don't have to watch Supergirl. Because it's
not...
It can be really good, but they focus way too... My problem with these CW shows is they focus way too much on, here's some drama for 5 episodes. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I get that, because it's not... You can't have shooting and superhero things for an entire season. It doesn't work, you know what I mean? Yeah. You have to have some human element to it. But I feel like because of the CW, which is renowned... Like, they're known for their love...
Teen drama.
I think it blends into these shows. Mm-hmm. And I think since Supergirl came over, it's definitely affected her show. And it's been like... me and my sister, it's up against the world, and we love each other because we're sisters. And I'm like, that's really cool.
You hate sibling relationships, Jose?
Hear me out. I think that's really cool, but then I watch this, and I'm like, you are way too, like, this relationship
sappy?
Between you and your sister. Yeah, I think it's too sappy. And I think it's, like, not realistic, because I'm like, I love my siblings to death, and I would do anything for them. But I'm also not going to be like them, like when they're not like superheroing or whatever, they're just like chilling and they're watching movies in their PJs and they're like eating something. And
but you're also not an alien woman from space.
I don't know. Anyway, it's on for me. I think it's on because it's leading to
it's on for me too.
Infinite.
I think it's
Earths.
cool because I like that they're doing crazy stuff.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Because I remember when Arrow was super. It has to be street level and whatever superpowers. And now the fact that like 7 years later we're having Crisis on Infinite Earths with
he left at the end of his season with the Monitor.
Oh yeah.
He sacrificed himself because the Monitor was going to be like, I'm gonna kill I'm gonna destroy your universe, and then Arrow was like, no, you need.
I know what the monitor looks like, but I'm just gonna pretend it's a computer monitor. Just like shows up, and Barry and Oliver's like,
I gotta go. Everybody's like, what's going on?
He's like, this monitor's here, and Felicity's like, what? And he's like, I gotta
go.
With this computer.
And then he picks it up and he walks outside.
He's running away with the computer, and they're like, oh,
crisis! Crisis is coming! I don't know. I think it's... and then they also announced the upcoming... Well, they'd already announced it.
Batwoman.
But the Batwoman.
Yeah.
She was in the last crossover.
Yep.
She's all right.
I heard that was good.
Yeah, I like her.
Yeah.
Ruby Rose, is that her name? Yeah, she's all right. I think it'll be fun.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll watch it.
Okay. Because you hate...
Because I hate women, you know? I hate when women are empowered. It's the worst. Stop empowering women.
Folks.
Oh, anyway, so it's on, right?
It's on, yeah.
Right. Okay. It Chapter 2.
It's on.
I think it's on.
It is on. Get it?
Yeah, I get it. Because it, yeah.
Chapter 2. It's on.
It was
it's Chapter 2 on.
Final trailer, which is good. I like that it's a final trailer.
Yeah, that's nice, because it's only their second trailer.
Yeah. I'm like, you're not going to release 35 trailers leading up to it where you reveal the entire plot. Spider-Man, Godzilla, every recent movie, it seems like. I stopped watching them after the second trailer. I just don't watch anything after that.
The worst is when, like, my dad tries to avoid all trailers. Just every trailer he tries to avoid. And then we have to go to a movie theater. And he's always like...
Closes his eyes, plugs his ears.
Yeah.
And he screams. Yeah.
So he can't hear it. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited for this. Okay. I remember when... I really liked the first one. Mm-hmm. That was pretty good. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Oh, you haven't, have you?
Yes.
Anyway,
I love
it. I love
Wolfhard.
all things. This is it, and I love clowns.
I'm looking at my hand. I'm like, I love. Flynn Wolfhalf.
It's like rolled. It's like scrubbed off.
Yeah.
You're like
Flynn Wolflaff.
I love
and Bill Scarman.
I love.
I love Stefano Queen.
No, I really liked the first one. I thought it was like fun, kind of. Well, it wasn't fun because it was the kids getting murdered, and it messed me up.
Because you hate children.
I hate children. Children shouldn't be allowed to be a thing. You know, just keep them inside. I don't want to see your kids. Anyway, you know what's funny is I work retail, right? And sometimes kids come in to buy clothes by themselves, and I'm always like, "Where are your parents?" Because my parents never let me do that. I just walk around the mall and like I always had to be with them.
Yep.
And sometimes they'll just walk in and be like, "I want to buy this." And I'm like, "Okay." And I look around and I'm like, who are you here with? I don't ask him that because I don't want him to freak out and be like, this weird man is like asking me personal questions.
I get nervous at the movie theater because one time there was this little girl and like this old guy was like, where are your parents? And she was like, they're in a movie. And he was like, should we go find them? And I was like, no.
You leave her alone.
Where okay. I can tell her which theater she's in. It's okay. But also, like little kids will come up. I had this 10-year-old kid. He was leading his entire family. His parents were there. And he just went, we're going to need 3 Diet Dr. Peppers. And then he looked at his little brother and went, and also Milk Duds? Milk Duds. And I was like, your little brother didn't say anything. And then he looked at his mom.
Shut up, you want Milk Duds.
He looked at his little mom. His little mom.
His little mom.
He looked at his mom and he said, anything else? His mom went, no, that's good. And then he was like, and that's everything. And I said 11:46, and he went, here you go. And I was like, who is this little man?
Who is this child?
Who is this child? Why is he such a young man? Like he's
been wearing a business suit.
I wouldn't have been
shocked. And a briefcase.
Yeah.
And he said okay, and then he tipped his fedora.
Yes.
And he went into the movie.
John Mulaney.
It was John Mulaney.
From what I've heard about John Mulaney, that's what he was like.
Yeah.
So
in Chapter 2,
they're grown up.
They're grown up, and I was really excited because in the first one, the kids were like, "Here's who I would like." Who I would want to play me, and a lot of them got person.
Their wish, except for those kids that didn't.
Yeah,
those poor guys. They were like,
I think it was the what's his name? Mike, the African American kid.
Yeah,
he had said he wanted someone else, and they didn't get him.
Well, but they got the Old Spice guy, which is even better.
I think everyone that they got is pretty good. Yeah. But I know Finn Wolfhard did want.
Did he want Bill Hader?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
And the girl wanted Jessica Chastain.
Yeah,
which it worked out.
They got him.
I think that was it.
No one asked for James McAvoy.
But he might have actually. No, he did. The kid did ask for James McAvoy. Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know. I think it's pretty good.
That's awesome. No, that cast is incredible.
I'm excited to see what they do with this one.
I know it's based on the. Do the space turtle?
I hope they do the space turtle.
How awesome
comes
would that?
in.
Imagine just people who are here for a good old, they're thinking,
good
this is
horror.
another Insidious.
Yeah.
This is another
And then
Annabelle. And then there's a space turtle.
But it's a theme, right? It's a metaphor. Keep your themes out of my movies. That's what I'm saying.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
The space turtle is not a theme.
It is.
What is it a theme of?
It's a theme for
The slowness of time?
the slowness of time, and I don't like that. I don't want you to get your themes out of my movies, man.
I hate women and children.
I hate women and children.
I don't want themes in my movies.
I don't want themes in my movies.
Everyone on the internet.
I keep doing this because I don't want to actually
but
hit it.
You're gonna almost hit that table one of these times. Oh.
No. See, I don't want to do that because that's really loud.
No, yeah, it looks great.
I know they're like deviating a little bit from the novel, which I don't care. I'm fine with that. I'm not like a...
I want the giant turtle.
I want the giant turtle, man. And I also want the weird spider thing.
Yeah.
Where it's his true form, but it's not a spider, but we think it's a spider because
we can't even imagine what it looks like.
Did you watch the trailer for this in chapter 2?
I did.
Did you like the little bit at the end where Bill Skarsgård does his little weird eye thing?
Yep. I really like it.
He's a crazy man, isn't he?
He is. I like him.
I like him. He's a really cool guy. I've seen some interviews with him.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like a weirdo or anything like that. But then you look at all the stuff that he does.
Do you know what I think?
This guy's insane.
Do you know what I think? As he gets older, he's going to become the third in the holy trilogy that is Willem Dafoe, Steve Buscemi, and Bill Skarsgård.
I think so, yeah.
I think that they all very much fit that same, kind of a goblin demon.
Yeah, here's a weird goblin man. He does all the, the contortion, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's done. He does a lot of it.
So while he's getting the chance to be super ugly and scary, his brother's Tarzan, and his dad runs around naked in Thor: The Dark World.
So it's on.
It's on. No,
so the Walking Dead movie.
Ugh, it's yawn. It's yawn.
Oh, what are you talking about? They had that really exciting and exhilarating
30-second flying to Philly.
30-second nothing trailer. Why release that? Just don't.
Why make these movies?
Why
keep The Walking Dead going? Do you still watch it?
No. And I don't care anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
Bill
Skarsgård.
Rick Grimes, he's gone. He left the show, but he's coming back in these movies. They're going to do 3.
Yep. In theaters.
Is
anyone going to see him?
Theaters probably only.
Probably not. No one's going to see him except for the...
No, I'm not.
Million people that still watch The Walking Dead? Haven't they been dropping in viewership for a long time?
It's because they don't know what they're doing with them anymore, man.
And the comic just ended, too. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
The day before it ended, Robert Kirkman was like, hey, it's ending tomorrow. And everyone went, what? And then it ended. And I'm like, good on you.
Good on you.
Good for you.
197?
Yeah, it was on for, 20 years or something like that?
Yeah.
10 years, 15 years, something like that.
I don't know. This was a really stupid trailer because it wasn't a trailer. They were like, teaser trailer! And then I clicked on it.
It was a title.
And it was a title.
And it just said The Walking Dead.
Yeah. That's just what they're going to be called?
No. I think that, because the name of the trailer that I watched, which is that trailer, just said Untitled Walking Dead movie trailer. And I was like, if you don't have a title for it...
Don't announce anything until you have something. Anyway, it's a yawn for me.
I just think... And also, Denai Guerra is leaving. Did you hear about that? Season 10 will be her last. I'm like, at this point...
Just end the show.
Kill it. Put a bullet in its head like you would a zombie. That was a pretty clever joke if I hadn't over-explained it.
Ahaha. But anyway, it's a yawn for me.
It's a yawn for me.
Yeah.
I've been yawning since Glenn died, because that was
pretty
heavy. That was pretty heavy,
yeah.
And I was like, this is good. And then the rest of season 7, I just went, no. And I stopped.
I think so did I.
I think a lot of people dropped after that point, too. That went a little far. I know it was realistic, but his eye bulged out of his head.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's what I'm going to do to you. Okay, next up, The Witcher.
Wait.
What?
No, okay, The Witcher.
Yeah, The Witcher.
Okay, cool.
Did you watch the trailer for this?
I did. I didn't understand any of it.
I've never played the video games.
Me neither.
Never read the books. But it looks good. I was like, hey,
fun.
this could be interesting.
Nice.
He is freaking ripped, isn't he?
Henry Cavill
is so big.
is a cool dude.
I love him.
I love him, too.
He's a really big guy. Did you see the part in the trailer where he's wearing like a medieval?
I saw it, but I don't remember
medieval
it.
tank top, and his bicep was like.
Well, did you see him in
really
Dawn of Justice?
He's pretty huge.
He's a pretty cool guy too, and he's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably watch
check it out.
Yeah,
it's on Netflix.
I've heard the video games are really good. A lot of people like the video games. I know this one's based more on the books than it is the games.
Mm-hmm. So The Witcher. As two people who don't know anything about The Witcher, let's describe what the trailer told us.
Elves. elves.
Elves taught humanity to turn chaos into magic.
And then humans
what does
were
that
like,
mean?
I don't know.
No one knows.
Humans were like, haha, thanks. We're
and
gonna
then they
kill
killed
you.
them.
Because humans.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, that's very realistic.
I was like, yeah, that makes
Look
sense.
at what we did to the Native Americans. They taught us how to plant corn, and then we killed them.
We gave them diseases.
We sent them on a trail to the west.
Oh, that's the best.
We're the worst.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So the humans killed the elves who taught him magic, and then there's a guy and he's blonde and he's got really long hair. He's like a.
Are his eyes always that black at the end of the trailer?
No, I don't know.
Why did his eyes do that?
I don't know. I'm so confused. I was like, "Whoa!" I bet
weird
that's a big
spider
reveal.
monster came out, and then he had black eyes.
Yeah, I feel like
is this the villain from The Flash season 6?
But no, I don't know. I don't know what that was at the end. But when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, I bet that's a
was
real."
Kind of fun.
Yeah,
I liked it.
When his eyes went black, I was like, "Oh, I bet that's a real."
It's a real
reveal
big deal somewhere. That means that he's about to unleash the chaos magic.
That probably means something to the people who know what this is.
Monsters.
But to me, it means nothing.
That girl asks him if his whole life's just money and
he's
monsters,
like,
and he says,
"Doesn't need." That's the part where he's really buff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like, "That's all."
I wasn't paying attention to his arms.
He's really buff.
It's on.
I think it's on.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
It's Terminator Dark Fate. No, I'm a little more excited for this than that. I think it looks cool. Yeah. I think it's exciting. I'm excited to watch all the streaming shows try to fight it out to get the next fantasy series.
Anyway, so yeah, The Witcher. It's on.
It's on.
It's a soft on.
Don't say that.
The next up is Watchmen TV series.
Don't say it's a soft on.
The Watchmen TV series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life on Mars plays in that trailer. Yeah. David Bowie.
I like the movie. I haven't read the comic book. I want to very badly. I like the movie. It's pretty good. I think that's.
Can't bring yourself to read it.
I think that's one of what's his face's. What's the name of the guy who directed?
Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder. I think that's one of his better.
You're about to have so many people yell at you.
One guy is going to email me and be like, "Hey,
how could you forget the name of the best director in history?
Superhero film of all time: Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice."
Get out of here with that.
But I think that's one of his better movies that he's done. Watchmen. I really like Watchmen. So I really like the movie, and I watched this, and I was like, hey, I don't know if this is based on the comic or the movie, but I think I'm going to watch this.
Like a future version, like it's that timeline of the comic, but it's set
in the future.
In the future of the comic timeline, which is exciting.
Jeremy Irons is Ozymandias.
Yes, he is. I
love Jeremy Irons. I just watched The Lion King, the original, and then I watched the new Lion King yesterday. I prefer Jeremy Irons. I'll say that. But yeah, Jeremy Irons is in it. Who else is? There's a couple other people, probably.
I mean, there's definitely more than a couple.
There's what's his name? The hood guy. What is his name?
Rorschach?
No. Like the guy with like the noose around his neck, and he wears like the hood.
Oh, that guy.
Is it Silent Hood or something like that?
I don't know.
But anyway, there's like a new version of him.
I don't know much about Watchmen. I'm gonna be
honest.
There's
some new superheroes in this that aren't from the Watchmen thing.
Nope.
There's the gang of Rorschachs.
It looks like a real political commentary.
I'll probably watch it. Is it only going to be on HBO? Is that the thing?
Yep.
Oh, man.
You're going to watch it.
I'll watch it. I think we still pay for HBO. It's fine. I don't know. I think it's on for me. Because I like the bit at the end where you see the Dr. Manhattan mask and then a blue hand reaches down and picks it up. Because it's Dr. Manhattan. He's back to wearing suits.
No, it's a Na'vi from Avatar.
Oh. James Cameron. Anyway, so it's on for the Watchmen TV series.
It's on.
Okay, finally, we reached the last part. We've spent an hour getting to this, and I thought this is what was going to take us the longest, and it probably will. Marvel Phase 4.
It's on.
It's on, baby.
The end. Bye, everybody.
Okay, thank you for tuning in. So let's just talk. Okay, so here's what they announced. They announced the Black Widow solo film, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier Disney Plus series,
Eternals.
the Eternals movie, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings,
Woo!
WandaVision Disney Plus series, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Love it.
The Loki Disney Plus series, the What If Disney Plus series, Hawkeye Disney Plus series, and then Thor Love and Thunder.
And also Blade.
Oh, and then Blade. Why is it not on this? Oh, because it was announced at the end. And then Blade.
And he also confirmed Fantastic Four and Mutants and Black Panther 2 and Captain Marvel 2, Guardians 3.
Yep. Oh, boy.
There's a lot.
I'm excited for
No word on Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because they also I read an article last night. Mm-hmm. Sony announces the release date.
Right.
So we have to wait until Sony decides to tell us that we get another...
Phase 4. Yeah, Phase 4.
What are you most excited for?
I think I'm most excited for... I think it's... For me, it's really a tie between Thor, Doctor Strange, and Shang-Chi. But if it comes down to two, I'd say Doctor Strange and Shang-Chi but then I'd say Doctor Strange. Multiverse of Madness. I'm really excited for that because I just want it. Because we had the theory. You had a theory about.
It's my theory, Jose.
Do you want to talk about your?
Yeah,
theory?
sure.
Yeah.
I also, after I said this theory, I found it a few other places online, but I promise I'm not claiming anyone's work. My first thought was because they talked about WandaVision, and that title's growing on me, which I didn't think it would, but I kind of like it now. They were talking about WandaVision, and Kevin Feige kept saying, it's an epic series, it's epic, it's an epic series, and then Paul Bettany kept being like, it's also very weird, so be ready for weird stuff. And Elizabeth Olsen was like, it's weird, and you get to see the Scarlet Witch, the actual, like, she's the Scarlet Witch now. And I was like, ooh, because Scarlet Witch has done some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And then they brought out Scott Derrickson, or as we like to call him, the emo James Gunn. Because he just, every time I picture him, I just picture James Gunn, but with tattoos. Yeah. Maybe a chain.
Yeah.
Chain that's wallet. Basically what he is.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, he's just horror James Gunn. And James Gunn's not
and James
horror.
Gunn, yeah.
He's even more metal James Gunn. That's anyway, so Scott Derrickson came out, and then Benadryl Cookie Batch came out.
Yeah.
And that's such an old joke. Will that ever get old for me? No. So Benedict Cumberbatch, comes out, and he's like, yeah, it's a horror movie, and also, hey, Elizabeth Olsen's in this. And she came out, and they were like, the events tied directly together. And I went, yep. Yeah. I did that. For sure. So, so I think this is just a theory. And I actually, the more I've thought about it, the more I've gone, they probably won't do this. But it's a theory. And other people have said this too. That WandaVision is going to be like her really using her reality powers.
I've heard some of that. They were like, it's going to be
in a 50s reality.
Right, because it's they're exploring her reality bending abilities.
Yeah, so I think that'll be really... So there's a very big 50s thing going on here. So I think she creates a 50s reality where she and Vision live together. There's probably some big theme of racial prejudice where people are like, he's not one of us, he's a robot, and they kill him. Yeah. Again, in her reality. Then she goes crazy somehow and does a whole lot of weird stuff. And basically what I'm trying to say is they might be adapting House of M. Because House of M, if you don't know, is in the comics, Scarlet Witch, I think Vision dies. Or something happens.
Her. So she has these twins who she believes are her kids, but they're actually offspring or offshoots or something like that of Mephisto. Who's like MCU's, or the Marvel comic universe's
the devil. It's the devil.
And so it's revealed, so they become demons or whatever, and they're gone. And she freaks out. And she's like, I want my kids back or whatever. And
then she says, no more mutants?
Yeah.
And there's no more mutants.
Yeah, so like she creates this, so like at first she goes crazy, and she's like, I'm going to rewrite everything. And she makes all the heroes forget that they were heroes. And she makes it where mutants are loved, because that's what she got from Magneto, was that humans were hated. So she's like, I'm going to make this reality where humans are loved. Or mutants are loved.
Yeah.
Did I say humans?
Yeah.
I meant mutants. And then Magneto realizes some people realize what's going on, and then they wake up these heroes to realize what's going on. And then Magneto is, because she's influenced by Quicksilver in doing this. Yeah. Quicksilver's oh my gosh. Anyway, Magneto takes her at first, before all this reality stuff happens. He takes her to Professor X, and Professor X is like, I can't do anything. We're probably gonna have to kill her.
I don't know what to do.
He says that. He's like, Logan. And Quicksilver overhears this, and he goes to Wanda, and he's like, they're gonna kill you.
Yep.
You need to do something.
Yep.
And so she goes crazy, makes a new reality where mutants are loved, heroes don't exist.
Yep.
Magneto is woken up by these other heroes who are finally realizing what's going on, because Wolverine knows what's happening the entire time. And then Magneto finds out, and he's like, Quicksilver, what did you do? You did my name wrong anyway. He kills Quicksilver. She goes crazy again, and then she's like, okay, no mutants. And she erases 98% of all mutants from the entire multiverse, not just her reality.
Yeah.
And it's this crazy thing where it really showcased Scarlet Witch's true abilities, because she's an Omega level mutant, but up until this point, she hadn't done anything that was
crazy.
Oh my gosh, she's insane. But now it's she's a force to be reckoned with.
So I really would like if WandaVision kind of took Vision again away from her, or she has kids.
It's interesting, because as you were saying this, I was thinking, and maybe this has been said online, but what if every reality, we see her do all these different realities, right? And in every one she loses Vision, and that's
or she loses kids, or she loses
kids. But every time even though she's creating them, she never gets her happy ending, and so it drives her to be crazy.
it doesn't drive her crazy, but drives her to do something terrible.
Yeah, right.
To
and
the
then
multiverse.
she realized, and maybe Strange fills the role of Wolverine, where he's the one who notices what's going on, and he's like, "We need to fix this."
Yeah.
And I think because you talked about how like you think this could be how they bring in
mutants.
I think
this is.
I think this could be it, where they maybe they rewrite. Maybe at the end they solve it or whatever, and they bleed all these together, and mutants were here. They were here the whole time. That's what everyone thinks because they don't know better.
Yeah.
And that's how you can have them be already established instead of here's an origin story for the X-Men.
Yeah, and I think that this is probably unlikely, but I think that it is something that I could see them doing, because if you think about it, each phase so far has kind of had a big thing. Phase 1 culminated with the Avengers. Phase 2 culminated with Civil War. No. Phase 2 culminated with Age of Ultron and then Ant-Man. But Age of Ultron was the big thing there. And that was a big deal, because it confirmed Infinity Stones as a thing, it created Vision, all that stuff. Phase 3 had multiple things. It had Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. And then Phase 4, if you look at it, you're like, this isn't really a lot. And some people are like comparing it to Phase 1. But even Phase 1 ended with something big. And if you look at this, it go like... The one thing that puts a hole in this theory is that Hawkeye... No, Hawkeye comes out... Does that come out in spring of 2021 or fall of 2021?
Fall of 2021.
See, that's the one thing that doesn't quite fit with it. Unless they did like a... You know, like an Ant-Man and the Wasp thing with the Hawkeye series, where it ends again with the whole mutants showing up. But anyways, that's a theory. We'll see what happens. I'm excited, personally. I'm very excited for a Doctor Strange movie again. And also the fact that Scarlet Witch is going to be Scarlet Witch in it.
Yeah.
Super exciting. And that title is...
I love it.
Awesome.
I love it.
All the titles in this I love. It's great.
Some people were like, Multiverse of Madness, that's so dumb. And I was like, no, it's like, I think it's really cool.
I think it's cool.
Because it's like, I feel like all these titles are like...
It feels like...
Some comic book titles.
It feels like Steve Ditko comics to me.
Yeah, like you have like Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yep.
Thor, Love and Thunder.
Thor, Love and Thunder.
I love that.
It's fun.
Speaking of Shang-Chi, I'm really excited for that because...
I'm super excited.
I think he's a cool character. I haven't read a lot of his stuff. But just from what I know of the character, I think he's really cool. I really want some martial arts in the MCU so badly. I liked Season 2 of Iron Fist because it was a lot more martial arts. It was a lot better than the first. And I was like, okay, now imagine if it was something that Marvel cared about. You know what I mean? Like imagine... And I think they're making a movie, so they care about it.
Yeah.
Also,
the Mandarin.
I just have wanted a real Mandarin for so long.
You know,
real
you can just buy them. You can just
you can?
Yeah, you can just buy a Mandarin.
Oh, well, I'll be right back. No, I'm just kidding. I'm back.
He's back.
No, I just watched the one shot All Hail the King the other night. That was really good. I forgot how good that little one shot is.
It's a fun little thing.
Because the guy's like, you idiot! Like there's a real Mandarin, and he's mad that you used his name.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I wish that had been the end credits scene of Iron Man 3 instead of Tony just being like, "Were you asleep?"
Yeah.
And Bruce is like, I'm not really that doctor. I'm not that kind of doctor.
Tony. Nope, it's gone. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Thanos, Tony. Yeah, that's good. I can't do it.
That's pretty good.
Good job. Quick tangent into Mark Ruffalo impressions.
But Shang-Chi, I think that could be really fun because it's like
I really like the actor.
Yeah,
because he came out and he was super charming and super nice, and he was just like, "This is insane," and we all went, "This is insane."
Yeah,
have you seen his tweets?
Yeah, he was like, "Hey, when are we going to talk about Shang-Chi?"
Like a year ago. Yeah, a year before that, he was like,
"Good job." He was cast on Tuesday.
Yeah, last week.
Crazy.
And also,
I'm excited.
And also, did you see his tweet where he's like, "I've looked directly into Tom Hiddleston's eyes"?
Yeah.
I was like, that would be crazy. Because really, he is just like this small-time actor who just got picked up to be in one of the biggest film franchise of all time. And now he's meeting people like Tom Hiddleston and Benedict Cumberbatch. Yeah. And and Angelina Jolie. Oof. And he's missing... he missed out on Robert Downey Jr., but some would say that people who have won Oscars are cooler. So he met Mahershala Ali.
Yeah.
Did you see Taika Waititi's reaction to Mahershala coming out
on stage? Was like,
where he puts on the hat, and then in the background you can see Taika Waititi just being like super hyped. It's awesome.
I don't have any theories on that because I don't know. I don't care what they do with it. You know what I mean? I just want the Mandarin and I want Shang-Chi. I think it'll be really fun.
Yeah, it'll be super exciting.
I like the font for it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I like the logo behind it.
Yeah, I like the 10
I like
rings.
that they've kept the 10 rings around. Just in the background, they've just been like...
Yeah, there was a guy with a tattoo in Ant-Man.
Yeah, which is exciting. I like that. I like that sort of thing, you know?
Falcon
and Winter Soldier I'm excited for.
Yeah, I am too.
I like those
They
guys.
had the little bit on stage where
I like them.
they were like,
and
oh,
I like
my
that
shield.
the shield's different now. It has like an extra line and extra
does it?
details on it. Did you ever notice that in Endgame?
No.
Yeah, so the shield, it has new details on it. Like there's an extra line,
good old Tony.
not like
He's always
colors,
doing
just
things, isn't he?
lines. Well, that's not the one that he gave. No, not that one.
Oh,
The one that Cap gives Sam at the end. Spoilers for Avengers Endgame. There's not a picture of.
there's not?
No, I looked last night. Yeah, so what it is, it's the normal shield, right? But then it has like an extra like line, like an extra design. It's not like a color, it's just like a black line. I can't even think. But it's around the white stripe, and then the star is separated into different sections. Very subtle. But it's nice. Jose searches for answers in silence. Just like
there is. There's a still of the movie. What are you talking about?
Yeah, so it's got those new lines on it. It's got a new pattern on it a little bit.
I do like that.
Yeah, it's kind of more like techie looking.
Yeah, that is different.
Yeah, so that was the one that they took out on stage. Just like that little thing, I'm like, it's the same shield. I like that.
Oh, and like the blue's a little deeper.
Yeah, it's a little different.
I do like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so anyway, so they came out with the shield, gave it to Sebastian Stan, and then Nerdist's own Jessica Chobot took it away from them. And I was like, why?
Why?
Why'd you do that, Jessica?
Why'd you do that?
I think you're really pretty, but why'd you do that?
Why'd you do that?
Do you ever watch Nerdist videos?
No. But anyway, so I'm excited for that too.
Yeah.
Eternals, yeah. I like the cast. I like the cast.
I didn't think I'd be that excited for Eternals.
Yeah.
But I am, because I think it sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, it sounds like there's... And also I looked into the superheroes, the actual Eternals, like the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And also the fact that it's going to have the first deaf superhero, I think is really cool. Played by a deaf actress.
Nice.
Which is super cool. Because they could have just cast someone to not hear.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah. No, that's who they should have gotten.
Yeah.
Should have got her to be...
She can play anything. Black Widow. I'm not super excited for that. I'm not going to lie to you.
David Harbour got me a little excited for it.
Yeah. I
Florence Pugh got me a little
more.
excited for it. And
I
the
liked him
new
more for
girl,
the
the girl who's playing
I like Rachel
Yelena.
Weisz. Yeah. I like Rachel Weisz.
Oh, I'm thinking of Florence. Okay, Florence Pugh has me a little excited because I think this movie will just... I think the reason they're telling this story, because I was like, why would you tell this story? It doesn't matter anymore. She's dead. But I think that Florence Pugh will take over, because in the comics, Yelena is also a Black Widow, and she's the other Black Widow of the comics. So I think that after this movie, it'll be like, oh, and also Florence Pugh is the new Black Widow, which seems smart to have a new actress.
David Harbour's playing who again?
Yeah, some guy named Alexei. Not to be confused.
Would have liked him as a thing.
Yeah, me too. Who are they going to get, though? You know who they're going to get?
Scarlett Johansson.
No, I was going to say the guy from Fan Four Stick.
Oh.
What was that again? What was his name?
I don't know.
Just want to say his name was Ben Grimm, and I'm like, no, that's the character's name.
Yeah, Ben Grimm, the actor.
The actor Ben Grimm played him.
Yeah, I'll watch that.
I mean, there's a lot of...
Taskmaster's in it. That's cool. I like Taskmaster.
Are they, though?
What?
Is Taskmaster in that movie?
He is in it.
Is it, though?
He probably won't be the main villain, I don't think. I think it's a fake out.
Is Rachel Weisz Taskmaster?
I don't know.
I was confused.
No, she's
by the film description, the footage description.
She is... I don't know.
Rachel Weisz isn't the other Black Widow. Florence Pugh is.
Right, but isn't she from her past?
I don't know.
Maybe she's one of the ladies that took out her uterus.
I didn't pay much attention to this. Yeah, she's the one.
She's the one who took out her
uterus.
uterus.
This movie's about Black Widow going and finding her uterus.
Loki? That'll be fun. So it's the Loki from...
Endgame.
The Endgame
got away with the
split
Tesseract.
universe, yeah.
Yes, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
I want them to explore that timeline a little more.
So none of the character development, yeah.
Right, but also Thanos is out there. Also, think about where the MCU was in 2012. Odin was still alive.
Yeah.
I'm sure it won't play into anything.
No.
I don't think they'll get Anthony Hopkins back for some TV show.
He'll come.
He might, but I think that's interesting.
He did Transformers 5, so he'll do anything. Won't
You're right. He has no standards.
Yeah.
If he gets paid enough money, he'll do it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so I think that's it. I think that's an interesting timeline to explore. Yeah. I almost wish we just got a movie about that timeline. Yeah. Where the Tesseract's gone.
When he left, I was like, ooh, where's he going to go?
And now we get to find out.
It's exciting. What if Marvel did a What If series?
Oh, if only.
They're doing it, Max.
What? No way.
What if it's the animated What Ifs?
Yeah.
And they're bringing all like the cast from the movies.
I'm really excited.
Awesome.
I'm really excited.
I'm really excited for that. Did you see in the logo? You can see. Was it you who told me that you could see the little zombies in the logo?
I actually didn't realize that was a zombie at first.
Oh.
I thought it was Captain America as the Red Skull.
No.
I thought that I thought it was going to be like, what if Steve Rogers became the Red Skull, like, because that's what Hugo Weaving was trying to do. Or also, what if Hugo Weaving was Captain America?
What if Haley Atwell was Captain America? That's probably what they're going to do. Did you see the little, in the T, there's the little Union Jack?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you think that's Haley Atwell as Captain Britain?
Maybe.
Do you think she'd still be Captain America?
Yes.
Do you think Captain America lands somewhere and she's like, hello everyone, and they're like, you're not American! And also you're a woman! In the 30s, you can't fight!
Nah.
Yeah, what if the story is, what if Peggy Carter became Captain America? And then she gets all buff, and they just go, you're a woman, you can't fight. And then that's the end of the episode. And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah. Hawkeye, he's probably going to not have the haircut anymore.
No, which is good.
Good. I don't know. I'm excited for that. I saw he posted. Jeremy Renner posted the footage, and I was like, "Ooh, Kate Bishop,
very stylish, very nice." I'm excied. I'm pretty excited. For that.
I think it looks like some people were talking because of the logo. It looks like it's based on that one
Matt the Fraction or Faction or whatever his last name
but
is.
It looks good.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It does.
I like the idea. I like Hawkeye. He hasn't done much.
And also, I'm excited by the idea because do you realize what they're doing here, Jose? Is
setting up the new
Avengers,
young heroes. Yeah.
Well, just like new Avengers.
Yeah.
Like Florence Pugh isn't exactly young, but she'll be the new Black Widow.
Thor: Love and Thunder. Taika Waititi, he's back. Thor's back. Jane Foster's back. Valkyrie is back. Korg and Meek
Are they back?
Yeah.
Are they back?
Yeah, I think they
They're
said
in
that
What
they
If.
would be back.
Korg's in What If.
Is he?
I bet the question is, what if
Korg was Thor? Wow.
Or what if Korg's revolution failed and he died miserably?
That's it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm really excited for Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, me too.
The logo is amazing.
I like it.
I like Taika Waititi a lot. I like what he did with Ragnarok.
I think you're the only person that liked it.
Thank you.
That's a joke because everyone liked it. Oh.
But anyway, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with this. I think they'll probably do female Thor.
Well,
maybe,
they said that they were.
Well, they are.
They gave her the hammer.
Why I said
they gave her the hammer.
Do you reckon she's gonna like find the pieces and be like, oh, Stellan Skarsgård helped me put these together, and then now I have the power of Thor. He wasn't wearing any
pants. He was naked.
He was not wearing any pants. Yeah.
Weird.
He never does anymore.
The actor Stellan Skarsgård doesn't wear pants anymore.
I'm excited. Anyway, everything that they've announced looks really good.
It does.
Blade. I'm really excited for this.
Yeah.
When he came out, I was like,
I was like, who's this? Well, I didn't say who's this.
And then he's like, you've got a hat too. And I was like, what's he going to do? And then he put it on and it just says, Blade.
F Marvel. And then he flips everyone off and he takes off his mask and he's the director of Suicide Squad.
Whoa, James Gunn?
No.
I know what you're talking about. David Goyer?
Yeah. Yeah. Remember when he said F Marvel?
He said that?
At Comic-Con?
I remember when Zack Snyder said, you live in a fantasy world if you think your superheroes don't kill.
Did he really start the sentence by going, like he was about to do a rap verse? Like a white guy doing a rap verse?
Remember? It's me, Zack Snyder, and I'm here to say
that Marvel sucks every day. I make dark movies for dark-minded people. Remember? Hey, watch out. I'm going to stab you with a stick.
Blade. Yeah, I'm really excited about that because there was that campaign that What's-His-Face started.
Wesley Snipes.
Where he was like, I'm going to be back as Blade. I don't know.
That's not how Wesley Snipes sounds.
It's probably...
Wesley Snipes sounds like, my dad was always trying to...
I'm going to be back as Blade.
Hey, you can't swear here.
I said... Anyway... I'm glad he's not coming back as Blade because I've read all the stuff about behind the scenes and he's insane.
Crazy. He's insane.
Really a crazy person.
And people are like, but Wesley, and I'm like, no, he's insane.
He's not even that. It's whatever.
Those movies are fun, but they're cheesy.
Is fine.
They're pretty cheesy too.
Yeah, he wasn't like this amazing take on the character.
You have your 3 rated R movies with Ryan Reynolds.
I like Marshall Ali and I like that he's
also
I loved him as Cottonmouth.
And I like that he brought this up with Marvel. Marvel wasn't like, hey, we need a black guy fast.
Yeah.
Which they've probably done before.
Yeah, probably.
I like that he went to Kevin.
Yeah.
Our man Kevin, and he went to him and they talked about the Oscars, and then he just went, so anyways, Blade? And Kevin went, absolutely, Mr. Ali. Yes. And then he wrote some notes down and then
they gave him the hat.
And then they put it in the oven, and Blade's happening. That's how they make movies. They just pop it in the oven.
Is it?
Yeah, they write a script and they put it in the oven, and then...
Kind of like Minecraft?
Exactly like Minecraft. Kevin Feige.
So that's all of them. That's everything.
But Fantastic Four confirmed.
I'm really excited about that, and I really want John Krasinski and Emily Blunt.
as
I don't
the
care.
Thing,
I don't-
and
both
of them
I
as
like
the
Emily
Thing.
Blunt a lot. If
Yeah.
she's not Sue Storm, whatever.
Okay.
I'll be okay with
But
it.
you want John
But I
Krasinski.
really want John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic.
That'd be cool. He was almost Captain America.
Yeah, he was.
Imagine.
And then he says he saw Chris Hemsworth or something
Yeah.
in costume, and he was like, I can't do this.
What if the What If series just is like, what if John Krasinski was Captain America?
The
And they're
actor
like,
John Krasinski was the character Captain America.
Yeah.
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 Um,
But the Fantastic Four, I'm really excited about. I'm excited. I hope that they do a
that'd be pretty good. What do you reckon? How do you reckon they're going to introduce him? You know what I want?
What?
I'm going to tell you before you tell me.
Okay.
I want it to be, well, I don't care, but I would think this would be cool if they were like, they were in this universe in like the 60s or something, and then they were messing around with the negative zone, and then they got trapped there. And they didn't age because it's the negative zone, and because of the tear in our realities because of the snap.
Or because of Wanda.
Or Wanda, yeah. They're back.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool.
My one, I actually was thinking about that the other day. I was thinking about them going into some other universe or going into space, and then they end up coming back down, and time's passed, and they haven't. But then I was like, is that too Captain America? Like, would casual audience members be
yeah.
like, this is just Captain America? John Krasinski was almost Captain America. And
He's Captain America again!
And then he's wearing a blue suit, and they're like, hang on.
And he makes his arm into a rubbery shield.
Gross.
I know, that's really gross.
But I'm really excited about this.
Yeah.
I
love the Fantastic
I don't want Peyton Reed to direct. I know he really wants to. I know that that's his dream.
Yeah.
But I don't want
He
him
did
to.
Ant-Man?
He did both Ant-Mans. I like Ant-Man
Yeah.
1, and I think Ant-Man 2 is fine.
Who would you want to direct this?
I don't know, man. You know what would be the ultimate dig? Get Edgar
Wright.
Wright to do
I was just-
Fantastic
yeah.
Four. Peyton Reed's like, all I've ever wanted is to direct the Fantastic Four. Marvel's like, we already have a guy. Edgar?
Come in.
I don't think Edgar Wright would do it.
I don't think he would. I don't think he's ever going to do a Marvel movie.
Which is so sad.
I know.
I want him to do it.
I think
imagine...
Marvel has learned their lesson now, and they would let him make it as he wants.
Honestly,
But I think they've burned that bridge.
But people said that Natalie Portman would never come back, and she did.
Yeah, true.
People said Hugo Weaving would never. Oh wait,
He didn't come back.
But I think that he could, and I would love to see an Edgar Wright movie set in the '60s
I would love that.
because it would be so nice. Also, wait, can you look up who's the guy who directed Man from U.N.C.L.E. really quick? Because that movie's pretty good. I like that movie a lot. It's got
That was
Henry
me.
Cavill and Armie Hammer in it.
It was directed by
Time.
Guy Ritchie.
I don't want Guy Ritchie to direct the Fantastic Four. I was just thinking
come
of
on.
I was thinking of 50s, 60s just style.
Guy Ritchie has some decent movies.
Have you seen The Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
I haven't. Should
You
I?
should.
Okay.
It's really good. A lot of people it got like mad ratings, but I really liked it. I would watch it again.
Okay.
Multiple times.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Zack Snyder should direct the Fantastic Four.
It should be grim. It should be real. Mr. Fantastic should bash
Oh.
a man's head in with a box. Come on, you think superheroes don't murder people? Grow up. This is the real world.
I want Johnny Storm to ignite on fire once, and then he just burns to death. And I want him to say "flame on,"
And
then
he's
he
like,
dies.
how do I turn it off? I'm actually on fire.
And
Yeah,
John
he does.
Krasinski looks at the camera.
And he goes, the gym look.
Yeah.
You can. Do you want people to know where they can find you?
No.
Because I do a social media thing at the end.
Oh, social
Oh,
media.
yeah.
I thought you meant physical
Yeah.
location.
Is there anything that you would like to? Because
find me.
I let my guests plug stuff
Oh,
that they're doing. So is there
really?
anything that you're doing or anywhere people can find you?
I have a website
Okay.
called maxbenyon.com. Maybe maxbenyon.squarespace.com because my dad made me use Squarespace, and I was like, but does that seem like I don't know what I'm doing? And he said, no, not at all. But I think it makes it seem like I don't know what I'm doing.
For me, it makes it seem like you don't.
It seems like I'm lazy, and
Yeah.
I just used a program.
Yeah.
But you know what? Find it there. I've got some writing up there. I've got some poems, mostly about how I feel, which people probably aren't interested in. But hey,
Good writing.
yeah, thank you. Have you read them?
No, but I've read your other writing, and you're a good writer. So
Oh,
I'm
thank you
assuming
very
it's good.
much. Yeah, and then
You don't
there's
listen
that.
to my show. I don't read your website. This is how it works. But anyway,
Am I a bad friend?
no, it's okay.
Are you a bad friend?
Yes.
Oh, no, you're not. You're good.
Anyway, so you've got your website.
Yeah, I got
and
my
it's-
website, and I don't know. You can check me out on YouTube. Max Benyon's
Okay.
my YouTube channel.
I'll put a link to it. Send me a link, and I'll.
Yeah, I
link
will.
it.
I'll probably put something up there soon. Hopefully, it's static. Hopefully,
Yeah.
it's just TV static.
Right. And what's your YouTube channel?
Max Benyon.
Max Bennion. Bennion.
Yep,
Benyon?
Ben Zion, but the Z's an N. And also, you can find me at Stadium Cinemas in Payson, Utah. I'm probably there.
Okay, and you can find me on Instagram at j.valle, V-A-L-L-E _ You can find me on Twitter at alfredvalle27, all one word. And then you can find me on YouTube as Jose Valle, Josevalle.
Like Zion, but nothing like Zion.
Like Zion, but not like Zion. You can also write, if anyone is actually listening, you can write in if you guys have any suggestions for future episodes, or
if you want me to come back.
If you want Max to come back.
Or if you hate me and you want me to die.
If you hate Max and you want him to die. If you have recommendations, or just write in for whatever. The email is Captain's Logscast. No, is that what it is? It's Captain's Logcast. So Captain's Log and then cast as in podcast at gmail.com. It's Captain's Logcast at gmail. Thanks for listening. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you download and subscribe because that helps, because then I know who's actually listening. Find us on Spotify, Captain's Log. Subscribe, listen, follow, whatever you can do on Spotify. I'm also on Podbean because that's where my podcast is hosted. So if you have the Podbean app, listen on that. Anyway, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end of our show. Tune in next week at the same time and on the same frequency for another episode. I've been your captain, Jose Valle.
And I've been that terrible crew member that dies in a red shirt in the second minute of the show, Max
Benyon. And this has been Captain's Log. Well, we've reached the end of our transmission. Goodbye. Scarlett Johansson is playing Pope Benedict in the Two Popes.
She can play anyone.
She can play anyone.
And Stephen Moffat said it's okay.
Yeah.
The writer of Doctor Who for 5 years. Is Doctor Who good?